So trading can be a very tricky business, especially when you're working full-time. In this video, we're going to go through plenty of tips to help you trade alongside your full-time job. So let's jump into it. First of all, if you're starting out trading, if you're already a trader, you've been trading for a long time, this is the perfect channel for you. I talk about trading content. It's mostly evergreen content as well, so you can go back on the channel and learn plenty of things. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It's free and it helps me out a lot. So let's jump into those points to help you become a better trader while working full-time. So tip number one is trading at the same times. So this could be the same day every week, or it could be the same time every day if you have that kind of time. For me personally, I kind of trade alongside my trading community, which is TTR. I kind of trade on those Thursday evenings. Sometimes it changes from week to week, but I basically try to trade at least once a week, probably 2 or 3 times mostly, I would say. But kind of getting that routine into your kind of schedule is tricky at first, but you do get into, you kind of get that motion, and you basically know what time you're going to be trading on most weeks. Also with that, obviously trading at the same time could actually be trading at the same time day. So you could trade at lunchtime if you've got that time. If you're working from home particularly that day, you could pop on there for 10-15 minutes, have a look at some trades, maybe some swing trades, maybe do some day trading at that time. Obviously it's up to you what your trading style is, etc. Or you can trade the market close, which is quite often what I do, or sometimes I actually trade the UK Open, which is about 8 AM every day on a weekday, of course. It's not just limited to which days, it's sometimes limited to which times as well. But you'll find what works for you as those kind of weeks roll on and you're kind of trading more and more. Now number 2 is using alerts, limits and stops. So we'll probably start with alerts. So if you like a stock, you've done lots of analysis the day before or the week before, and you like it at a certain price, make sure you set those alerts. So when, for example, Google gets down to $100, purely hypothetical of course, if Google gets down to $100 and you've set that alert, you get that alert while you're at work, then obviously that you think, oh actually this could be a good time to get in. So maybe you take yourself off in your lunch break, or you've already set a limit order. A limit order is basically something you've set preemptively so that when it comes down to a certain level or up to a certain level, if you're shorting, it will then trigger that trade and then you'll be entered that trade. Now with that, you must always set a stop loss in every single trade, but you can also set stop losses in every single trade that you have. So say you want to get in at 100 at Google and you want to set a stop loss at $90, you can set that up before you get into the trade. This is actually a really good way to automate your trading as well. It takes most of the stress out of it. It's difficult with day trading because obviously the levels change so much, but this more applies to kind of swing trading. So that's using alerts, limits and stops. I use them quite a lot and I think you should too, so go ahead and dig into that. Number 3 is actually quite simple. It's using less volatile stocks. So for example, you've got your Palantir, you've got your HIMS, your SoFi, your NEO as well. These are all very high volatile stocks. They move 10, 20, 30 cents a day, sometimes even more, and that even that comes into percentage as well. That's 10, 20, 30% sometimes per day. That's not what you want. That's not the stress you want while you're working hard for your money during the day, especially I've been through that. That's not something we want to do. So you want to trade less volatile stocks if that's something you're more aware of, should we say. You're not too keen on the volatility day to day. But if you look more towards kind of Google, Amazon, Apple, etc., they move a little bit slower. Their percentage is a bit less on each day. You can even trade dividend stocks, although the volume is not quite there, but they move even less. But that's something to look into as well, of course, with your trading. But overall, I think the message is obviously being comfortable with the risk that you put on at certain levels of each stock. So for me, personally, I like a bigger kind of stop loss. So for example, if we have NEO at $3, it goes down to $2.50. That's probably almost a 15 to 20% stop loss, and that's not okay for most people, but for me it's okay. I've got that barrier of entry, but my target is actually $4 or $5, just as an example of what I'm thinking of here. But if you're into a less volatile stock, you're looking for those 1 to 2 to 3% moves, maybe on a day trading time frame, then of course that is something else that you have to look into with your strategy and what aligns with your rules, etc. This next tip is kind of almost 2 different tips. You'll see what I mean when I say it. So opting in for swing trading instead of day trading. Now we did touch on this a little bit earlier on, but swing trading can be a little bit easier for your mind, especially if you're a busy person, you've got kids, you've got family, you've got obligations, responsibilities, etc. It could be a good way to kind of get into trading just by swing trading. It's just a bit more of a longer term mindset, so it could be a couple of days if you get quite lucky with the price action, of course, but it's meant to normally be from about 2 to 3 weeks to about 6 months, that kind of period for trading. And this kind of ties in with number 2 as well, which was alerts, limits and stop losses as well. So if you set those swing trades and to get ready to go, then of course that's kind of automating your trading. You can kind of sit back, relax and obviously hope that your target price gets hit as time moves forward. What you do have to be wary of, though, this is a bit of a warning, is obviously news events and earnings as well. So these can be disruptive, to say the least, in the swing trading. I've had it before, of course. It's just kind of one of the risks that goes along with swing trading, but obviously making sure that you have that correct risk management throughout your trading. So bring up the stop losses if it's moving in the right direction, then of course it shouldn't hurt you too badly. And then just tying on to that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this tip, which is designated check-in time. So these swing trades obviously that you're getting into, you should probably be checking up on them every 2 or 3 days. For me personally, I look at kind of Sundays and Wednesdays properly. I look at kind of most days, to be fair. Obviously I'm a bit of a trader, I like to get into it, I like to do my analysis, but really I kind of dig in deeper on Sundays and Wednesdays, just to kind of get that regularity and kind of thoughts behind my swing trades. And obviously that is kind of all down into the trading room, which is something that you can get into as well, which is down below in the description if you are interested. It's a trading community mainly basically for full-time employees, etc., because I am one myself. I like to trade on the side. I do day trade, I do swing trade. So if you're into that kind of thing, obviously do check it out down below in the description. So the next tip I want to give you is creating watch lists, and creating more than one watch list is ideal. I have some that are broker specific, so I know which ones I'm trading on certain brokers, and then I have some that are more kind of industry specific, so you've got electric vehicles, semiconductors, etc. But you can kind of dig into what your interests are. So if you're more into semiconductors than you are kind of bank stocks, of course, then you can create those watch lists and you can keep an eye on those stocks, keep an eye on those industries as well. So that actually concludes this video from all the tips you can have while you're full-time trading. Just be careful when you're trading full-time, because it can get a little bit messy. You can get into a bit of a tricky spots, because obviously work takes over, life takes over, because you're not always free at those times. So make sure you get all these tips, which I've kind of listed down on the screen for you here now, to write them down, kind of apply them to your kind of day-to-day life and see how that works for you, whether you're a bit more of a day trader, whether you're a bit more of a swing trader, and just really kind of think about how it's going to work for you. And as I said before, if you do like the trading content, do subscribe to the channel and check out this video next for your next trading video. Take care everyone, and trade safe.